4:45, and this from Simon Ludders on an email. So, why does Downfall sound like a bad film on paper? You mean it's hard-hitting, cerebral, emotional, and not mere popcorn, whereas Constantine with Keanu sounds such a great idea?
I didn't say it sounded bad on paper. I've got my script in front of me. What I said, right, here
Script?
It is. Downfall, one of those films that on paper sounds heavy and worthy. Not bad, just heavy going.
I thought you just made it all up.
But they made it entertaining. They make it interesting. But I mean, I'm sorry. A lot of people in this country, the thought of going to see a 2.5-hour film about the last days of Hitler is not going to get them excited. That is a fact. Yes, intelligent people, maybe it gets your juices flowing. But for the majority of people, they're going to think, no, I want to go and see robots instead.
Downfall, says James in High Wycombe, is a monumental piece of filmmaking that keeps drawing you in. It's like an episode of 24. It's relentless and astonishing, and this weekend's must-see. Whether it makes it to James' Movie of the Week, you'll have to wait and see. What else is new, James?
This is the bit for Mark. So, Mark, I don't know where he is on holiday. Do you know?
No, we should
Somewhere.
probably not say.
Yeah, wherever you are on holiday, you're listening. Hi, Mark. This is the bit for you to text in, because this is where I'm reviewing a horror film. And it's a horror film that
I can hear him laughing already.
We have differing opinions on. So get by your phone now. Ready? The Ring 2. Right, so Channel 4 have been showing the original Japanese versions of Ring 1 and Ring 2 over the last couple of nights.
Which he thinks is immensely superior.
No, they're both very good. Great films. The American remake of the first one came out a couple of years ago, was much more mainstream. Now we've got the Hollywood sequel to that remake. And the Japanese director of the original versions has come on board. Hideo Nakata is now directing the American sequel. And what he does is he makes things a lot more weird than the last one, a lot actually less audience-friendly than the last one. So this is the deal with the first one. Naomi Watts was a journalist investigating stories of this videotape. So scary, so freaky. When you watch it, you get a curse put on you, and a week later you're killed. Part 2, the new one, even though Naomi Watts has now moved out into the middle of nowhere, escaped, she thought everything was behind her, the tape surfaces again. It's come back, and the curse is let loose. And the scary girl from the videotape, Samara, evil-looking thing. Have you seen her? Long, greasy hair. Very scary.
Oh, her?
Yeah.
She works downstairs.
She tries to possess Naomi Watts' young son. Here's The Ring 2.
Have you ever seen something so scary that you had to show to someone else? Yeah, I mean, like, a movie or something.
Well,
Okay, I've got the scariest freaking movie you'll ever see. Yeah. A buddy of mine actually turned me on to it. And, he made me a copy, so I did one for you.
you brought me here to watch a video?
Well, 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes, and it'll all be over. It's totally underground stuff.
Thought we were gonna just...
Well, no, we will. We will. You just got to see this. Okay, I'm telling you, it's...
How about after?
No, you need to watch it now. Okay?
Do we get cursed just to listen to that?
I hope not.
It's a bit disturbing.
Yeah, it's very disturbing. What you need to know is this, is that the hardcore horror fans really like The Ring 2, because it's a much darker movie, it's slower, it's murkier than the first one. Not really. I mean, we heard in that clip about the scary videotape, but ultimately, The Ring 2 isn't really about the videotape anymore that was so prevalent in the first one. Much more about this child and his mother, played by Naomi Watts, and what she has to do to save him from being possessed by this ghost. And that is what the real horror fans like about it. So we think we can, in that camp, we'll put M. Kermode. Right?
Yeah.
He's over there. What I personally think is that I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one because it is less audience-friendly, because it is less gripping, and it doesn't have the real simplicity and the real scariness of that simplicity that the first one had, which was a journalist trying to solve a mystery. That's what it was about. This one, much more complicated, much darker, much drearier. Does pick up a bit towards the end. So you're about 1 hour, 50 minutes into it. All of a sudden, things get quite interesting because Naomi Watts has to make some life or death decisions about how to save her child. And you're thinking, at last, some emotion, some emotional hook that can grab me and I can start to be interested in this film. But for so much of the film, it is about the special effects and it's about the mood, all of which gets very, very dark and boring and dreary. And the genius of the first one was just the simplicity, right? Watch the videotape, you're cursed. We're all like, wow, that's really scary. This one, it's bogged down. It's bogged down by those special effects. It's bogged down by those endless, moody, slow moments that don't really pack a punch like the first one did. But, having said all that, go and watch the Japanese versions, because they're superior to either The Ring 2 or The Ring 1
Is it
American
scary?
versions. I wasn't really that scared. I really wasn't that scared, because even though you can have scary monsters, you can have ghosts, you can have the mood, you can have the atmosphere, if you don't really care about the characters, you can never really be that scared. The special effects are there, look great, but you don't really care enough to actually be scared.
Instantly have an opinion straight
I do
away.
have a correction to make for James, but when we get to
Okay, when we get... Okay, so the box office top 10 this week out of 10 is Downfall.
You know, it's the best movie about Hitler currently playing in a mainstream cinema. It's actually really, really interesting, and it was true, because I heard James reviewing it, and you tied him up in knots about this. Was somebody saying, you know, he said, well, I know it doesn't sound like on paper it's a great idea, and somebody wrote in saying, well, what do you mean it doesn't sound on paper like it's a great idea? What sounds on, you know? But I know exactly what James meant, and he's right. But it is a very good film.
Ring 2, Act 2.
Right, James King. Right now, I am really cross about this. Basically,
Well, don't go on holiday then.
no, well, I'll just, you know, I rang up from holiday, and then I was going to ring back, and I was told that wasn't form. Okay, fine. Here's the thing: if you know anything about horror, you understand that Ring 2 is better than Ring. Why? Ring, the remake of The Ring by Gore, pass me that bucket, Verbinski, is a terrible film. Hideo Nakata, who made Ringu and Ringu 2, actually understands that horror is not about teenagers going, eh! It's about grown-up issues, and it's about, you know, ageless terrors. There are things that are structurally wrong with Ring 2 that largely come down to the fact that it's written by the same guy who did the Ring 1 remake, but it is directed beautifully. If you've seen Dark Water, if you've seen the original Ringu, if you know about Nakata's interest in parents and children, there is at least 50 minutes of good grown-up horror in Ring 2. I'm sorry, it's a better film. The original Ring obviously is better than all of them.
Number one,
but
Sahara.
It's a good, I haven't seen it.
Okay. Hey, Saul.
And who cares?
Saul, thanks very much.